Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help, and welcome back to another video today. One of my favorite places to hang out in game is in guilds, and I think RuneScape needs more of them. We've got a lot of good updates throughout the years, and some of my favorite skilling updates have been to skilling guilds. Taking a look at the guilds that we have in game, we've got Champions Guild, Cooks Guild, Crafting Guild, Mining Guild, Farming Guild, the Fishing Guild, Heroes, Legends, Myths, Wizards, Range, Warriors, Woodcutting. There's a few that are really useful, obviously, and then there's some that could use a lot of improvement, and I would honestly really like to see more being added to the game. One of my favorite updates was the introduction of the Farming Guild, which was located in the Kebos Lowlands, requiring 60% Hosidius favor in order to enter here. We got a ton of new content in this guild, right? So first of all, we had the farming contracts where you could pretty much was like a slayer task in a way for farming. You'd walk up to the Guildmaster Jane and you'd either ask for a beginner tier, a medium tier, or like a hard kind of tier of farming contracts. And then once you completed it, you would get yourself a seed pack, which could contain some nice rare seeds. You could actually make a lot of money from these farming contracts, and you can get some of the new ones such as the Hispori, the Celestris, and Redwood seeds as well. Very, very useful in here as well. We had things like a cactus patch, all the new patches, the herb patch, tree patch, the brand new Hispori patch, and the anima. So the Hispori was basically a farming skilling boss, which was located in the farming guild as well, which is awesome, adding a boss to a skill, which it is a kind of intense fight if you've never been there before. We got the bottomless compost bucket as a drop from Hispori, which is awesome. We got the brand new anima patch, which basically would allow you to get buffs from farming, and you got these seeds from killing Hispori. So there was the Attis seed, which would increase the yield of farming patches throughout the game. The Azor seed, I can't pronounce any of these, and it would pretty much decrease the chance of farming patches becoming diseased. And the Chronos seed, which would provide a chance for farming patches to skip growth stages. So very, very interesting to add into here. And then we also had the advanced tier where we had the redwood, and we had a spirit tree in here, a fruit tree, and the Celestris tree, which was awesome. The Celestris tree was a brand new tree where you could pretty much farm battle staffs, which is very interesting as well. Another really good update was the Woodcutting Guild, another one being located in Hosidius. You needed the 75% Hosidius favor in order to enter here, and pretty much this was a really good place to train farming with a ton of friends, and you had everything you needed here. We had trees, we had the Ent Dungeon, which were creatures you could kill in order to pretty much get some extra trees and logs. We had a sawmill here as well. We had a shrine added to the game where you could use birds' nests or birds' eggs on it in order to get a very rare black evil chicken outfit. There was tons of different ways of getting here, but in the actual woodcutting guild, we had 11 regular trees, 4 oak trees, 7 willow trees, 13 maple trees, 17 yew trees, 2 magic trees, and 2 redwood trees, which was basically 24 walls to chop. Very good. We had all the trees located in one central area, and I liked that it was just called the Woodcutting Guild. There was so much woodcutting content to do here. We had a sawmill where you could pretty much turn your logs into planks right there instead of having to go all the way to the Varrock lumberyard. We had a Perry's Chop Shop, which you could pretty much just buy rune axes from. The shrine, like I was saying, you can get the evil chicken outfit here. And yeah, overall, it was just a really good update to woodcutting, kept it all very central, and a really cool spot to train. Another cool guild, this one was added a very long time ago, but we had some features added from old school, is the Fishing Guild. Again, a really cool place to fish. You have that +7 invisible boost for your fishing skills, and you know, there was a bank there, a fishing store, docks where you could do tons of different types of fishing. But what was added was the minnow platform. Once you had 82 fishing, you could go into this. It wasn't really a mini game, but you could go and catch minnows, and once you caught enough minnows, you could trade them in for sharks, which is a better way for Ironman or any accounts to get themselves sharks. Really good update, and we need to see more updates to the kind of quote-unquote dead skilling guilds, in my opinion. Now, could there be a guild for each skill in the game? I honestly think eventually maybe there could be. We have kind of niche guilds. You could say like the Rogue's Den would kind of be like a thieving guild, but I feel like they could make a better thieving guild, for example, right? Similar to like how they have one on RS3, I'm pretty sure. As for the other skills in the game, they could make skilling guilds for them that what I think would be very interesting, and add sort of the artisan skill into the game without adding it, if that makes any sense. So pretty much the artisan skill was a skill that was going to be Slayer for skilling, but we have things like farming contracts. I feel like they could just add contracts to skills in skilling guilds, if that makes any sense, right? So say we had the cooking guild right now. There's really not too much to do there. There is a place where you can cook food and you buy the skill cape, but that's pretty much about it. What if you could get cooking contracts in these guilds and get rewarded for this and get some perks and whatever it might be for your cooking skill? I think it would be really cool content to just add to already existing content to make it more lively. Make people actually want to train cooking in the cooking guild rather than in the myths guild or wherever you want to train at the Rogue's Den. I think it would make a lot of sense to do something like this. When we got the Mahogany Homes update, I was kind of hoping that it would be sort of like a construction guild in a way. Now, I'm not putting the update down at all. I think it's a brilliant update, and it's helped a lot of people get their construction level up that wouldn't have otherwise done so. Great update, but it would be really cool if we had like a construction job site, for example. Maybe somewhere like where the dig site is, something, I don't even know. Or like the lumber yard, where you could get, again, like these construction contracts similar to Mahogany Homes. They're just have everything be all in one, where you could do construction activities, get certain upgrades for construction all in one place. Now, we have a lot of construction shops throughout the game, right? But it would be really cool if we had a construction guild where we could have it all be in one activity, and they could even add activities to do in there, right? You could maybe get your contracts here. You could buy all the materials you needed. You could make your planks there. You know, like if you went and worked on the job site, for example, you could maybe get your planks a little cheaper. So I don't know how they could actually make it work, but I think it would be really cool to have a construction guild into the game. If we were to have something like a smithing guild, it kind of seems like we already do in a way, because if we have Blast Furnace and Giant's Foundry, what else would there be to add in something like a smithing guild, right? There's a lot of other ones that I'm trying to think of where we could add it. I feel like the crafting guild could add more to it to train crafting rather than it just being like a central bank pretty much, right? We could have an herblore guild, which would be cool. We could do maybe herblore contracts again. I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to think of like ways they could add to a skill. I definitely think an agility guild would be possible, where you could have maybe the master, like we could have like a tier 90 or 95 course in it or something like that. I'm not quite sure. A hunter guild obviously would be possible as well. I just think the list could expand forever, and maybe some of the existing guilds we already have, like the ranging guild, for example, they could maybe like update the content a bit to make it worth going there. I haven't went there probably since 2008 when I was getting those ranging tickets back in the day, but it would be really cool to like make these existing areas of the game that we already have quote unquote guilds for, make them like useful, make them so that people actually go there and visit them, right? I love it here at the Myths Guild. Now, I don't really do many of the activities in the Myths Guild, right? I could go downstairs, train some rune crafting, I could kill some dragons, right? But I pretty much use the Myths Guild up here to have a close bank to a cooking range, right? Which should be at the Cooking Guild. I mean, there is a very close bank to the Cooking Guild, but this one's better, so it doesn't really make much sense in a way. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. The Farming Guild is the best example of this, is because it was such a great update that it made people actually start to train farming. A couple of my friends would just hate the farming skill so much, they didn't know what to do or whatever, but they kind of learned from the Farming Guild. It's all there in one spot. It doesn't take too much like to learn farming. You got everything right there, and then it kind of makes you want to go out and explore other ways of farming. And it's a really cool because you can have like the spirit tree there, very easy to get to. It's also right by a ferry victory ring as well. And then obviously if you have 99 farming, you got the cape teleport right there. So there's a lot of different ways of getting there, which also makes it super useful for all types of accounts. And it kind of introduces people into farming, right? If we had like a guild for every different type of skill in the game, it might make people want to train it more. It would give Jagex also tons of different ideas of adding content into the game. Like we've got Hespori, right? A random farming boss that's located in the farming guild, right? It kind of would have been out of place if it was somewhere else, right? But they could add and expand on the content from the guild. Imagine a Slayer guild where you could keep all of your Slayer gear there as like in a separate bank or something like that. Maybe you could contact your different Slayer masters from this guild, get extra cool unlocks. There might be even some Slayer creatures down in here, or we could even introduce a brand new Slayer master if we had a Slayer guild. I just think adding guilds to the game could expand on the skills that we already have and just make them that much better. I'm just throwing the random idea out there for the Slayer guild. I don't know if it could work, but I think it would be really cool. And one last thing, might be a little bit biased because I am a maxed account. I think it would be really cool to have a max guild. I know they had one on Runescape 3, and I just remember walking into it and you could hang all of your skill capes up. So you'd walk into this max guild and you'd have all of your 99 capes hung up. There was a bank there. I'm trying to think of what else was there. There was a place where you could cook as well. I don't really know, for example, but it could just be a really cool place for max players to hang out and just kind of just show all of the accomplishments that you've had. Similar to your POH, when you walk into your POH and you just have all of your capes hung up and you have your altar there and whatever. I think a max guild would be pretty cool, but I might be getting a little over myself here. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video today. If you do want more skilling guilds, or even just them to upgrade existing guilds in the game, let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And if you have any other suggestions for other types of guilds in the game, I would love to know down below. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the entire video today, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya later.